and the music has started. Hello, 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 hello. Is my microphone on? It is for once at the start of a stream. Hello, everybody. Welcome to your Tuesday newscast. I don't think that's right, but we're going to roll with it. My name is Prim, the oddest axolotl of the bunch, and welcome back to Mortui, Vivos, Docent, the only place where everything is equally as gay as it is horrifying. Magus Archives can suck my dick. Anyway, uh,
That is an accurate assessment.
see?
Hmm.
See? Party approved. Actually, to prove my point, we're going to have the party introduce themselves, starting with Mallory.
Hello, hello. Mallory is the resident lesbian number one of the party, and she is equally as terrifying as she is gay, so it's fine.
Honestly, I don't think I could have asked for a better intro if I tried. Next up, the great, the wonderful, the silver.
Greetings and salutations. I am Mac Epiphany. I will be playing Vic, aka Silver, who is not one of the lesbians. That's all I got. See y'all in the game.
Silver is not one of the lesbians, but Silver has no gender.
That
Uh,
part.
see?
I
Uh,
love him, honestly.
Next in our established and wondrous order, we have the great, the lovely, the Venus.
Hello, my name is Blue. My pronouns are they, them, and I'm playing Venus, who uses, I mean, pretty much they, them, but any pronouns. And I don't know. Also, not one of the disaster lesbians. Just one of the haunted gays.
Haunted gay that genuinely would prefer no one refers to them at all is actually kind of an amazing thing. Moving on to Isona.
Howdy, this I'm Chelsea, playing Asana. I may be one of the other lesbians. She's figuring it out, but headed towards there.
She's figuring out, she says, as she has several blushing fits every time she looks in another lesbian's direction. Uh, but to prove to all of you exactly how gay we are over here at Mortu Vivos Docent, we have accidentally removed our only straight member from the group. Keith will not be joining us for today's stream, which means we have lost one of the two voices of reasons. It's probably going to be fine. Everything's probably
I
gonna.
refuse. I refuse to acknowledge Keith as a voice of reason.
You are the other one.
No, for real.
You are the other one. You cannot talk,
I'm the
Venus.
only one.
You know what? That is very fair. I'm so sorry. What's more accurate? Ah, yes, we have lost one of the only means of protecting yourselves. So, who boy?
Ballin'?
I'm here. I'm good
I
with the
said what
gun.
I absolutely
Yeah,
said what I
those
said.
rolls happened last time.
I absolutely said what I said. So
How'd those rolls go last session?
Um,
Hey, we don't live
I'm
in the
gonna
past.
I'm gonna back out of that one.
we do, and it's funny. Speaking of the past, who wants to recap the absolute nightmare that was last session, from sandwiches to official documents?
Mm.
Going once.
Do I get a do we get a little
Oh yeah,
reward too?
you always get rewards when you do my job for me.
You're
Let's
right.
go.
All right. That yeah, that tends to be how it goes. Okay. Let's see. We met up at the diner. So for Keith and Venus, we had a little chat. Keith was vulnerable, which was incredibly shocking. About his, uh, wife who passed and how he's worried about his son. Venus suggested he go to, visit him, and then residential lesbians Mal and Asona came through, and Asona was damn near dead in the car. We all hopped inside the car, and Keith drove us to a shady doctor connect that he had. So Silver was able to tend to Asona while we were there. And Venus had a chance to catch Mal up on everything that happened at Lottie's and vice versa. And we were like, oh, actually, talk about this. It's weird that Cranes, gave, uh, what's her name? Constance, right? Yeah.
Constance.
This medicine. Yeah, it's weird that she
It
prescribed her
was
this medicine when she's
Irene,
not a
and she gave
like. Yes.
Dr. Crane prescribed her the medicine.
Mm-hmm. She's a psychologist, not a psychiatrist. So we were like, oh, that's weird. It was. Oh, we were learning that like inside the bottle, it was some nasty, thick ass like syrup like substance with like absinthe and turpentine. I don't know. It was nasty. But luckily, Silver saved Asona, so she's good. Question mark. Um, we drop Asona off at Mal's and go to the doors headquarters, and it's a whole mess in there. Military's all up in there. They are pulling records of like tomes and grimoires from the last like 10 years, I think. And we think that we have two of the tomes because or grimoires because we learned that the Ignota Foundation, which was the organization that Agnes and her homegirls formed in college, they purchased five different grimoires, didn't record the names or whatever um, in these records, but we're pretty sure we have two, which is good because part of the ritual is like reading from a grimoire. So maybe they need all five. I don't know. We don't know where the others are. But on the other side of that, Venus can use that book as a way to understand the tome that they collected back during their archaeology days. Um, what else? Asona got a letter from Lieutenant Effie something. What's her last name?
Yes, I do apologize, by the way. You were led partially astray by me. She is a colonel, not a lieutenant. I forgot that matters.
Got you.
Proceed.
I will fix that.
That is a
Um,
monumental difference.
It's
I
fine.
don't
It's
know what the difference
fine.
is.
It's
What is
fine.
the
It's fine.
difference? That means she higher up?
Several ranks.
Much higher.
Oh, okay, okay.
Like,
That's
oh god. No one
So,
tell multiple.
update Prim's trying to fuck us.
Whoa, hey! Not without buying you dinner first.
Hey.
I'll be waiting.
Hey!
Well, Colonel fucking Effie Felton invited Asona to dinner, which is wild. And she also was the one who filed a missing persons report on Irene. So I'm gonna be assuming that she's gonna be going back into Effie's care on that note. Um, and I that's all I got. We ended up going back to Mallory's because Venus's boss was like, "You need to get the fuck out of here. I don't know shit. I ain't hear shit. Do what you gotta do. Leave me the fuck out of it." Type shit. And so they're like, "Okay, cool." So yeah, we went back to Mallory's for the night. Gave Lasona her dinner, and we decided to settle in for dinner.
Actually, wild. Also, in accordance with the internet. By the way, thank you for the recap. You now have one free reroll sitting in your bank. Use it wisely. Um, in accordance
Yay!
with the internet, and I can get corrected on this because Lord knows I don't know. Second lieutenant, first lieutenant, captain, major, lieutenant colonel, colonel, brigadier general, major general, lieutenant general, general.
That's correct.
Mm,
Okay. And for context, Lou is a second lieutenant.
got you.
A second lieutenant might be in charge of like a small like group. Like
Points to
That's
doors.
exactly what
a,
he is.
Points to
a
Yeah.
colonel,
door.
a colonel is going to be in charge of a battalion. That's hundreds of people.
Okay,
Points
got
to
you.
door. You know,
That helps.
it's like he's probably in charge of a small group of people. Points to the most underfunded department there is.
Mm-hmm.
That title is for
Oh,
show and not shit
fucking
else,
God.
man. Uh, all right.
Oh.
So, yes, that was a lovely recap. You did miss y'all trying some truly heinous sandwich combinations, like,
Oh
oh
yeah.
boy,
Some
researching
delightful.
Pretty patties.
Yeah. 1920 pretty patties.
1920s food will never not be the funniest experience of my life.
It's so nasty. My
It's
God.
so
Spare this
bad. We
bitch.
kept
Oh
finding
Lord,
worse
shit.
ones too. We kept looking afterwards. It's so bad.
No,
Uh,
that was great.
but that aside, you all, after a series of absolutely chaotic events, including getting that letter, turn in for the night. Some of you going about recleaning your areas and your spaces, taking what you can and fleeing to safer areas, as I believe one or two of your apartments got raided, correct?
Yeah, Venus is dead. They like went ham, smashed all the mirrors in their shit, and got back some sanity because of that.
Yeah, you all go back, collect your items. You find majority of your homes have been raided to some degree.
Okay.
Silver and Mallory seem to be Silver, Mallory, and Keith seem to be the only ones that have been left alone. But the rest of your rooms are raided. You all have been taking your stuff and consolidating it in another person's home to be safe. And after going through that process and a good deal more research, you all tuck in for the night until the next morning. 8 a.m. or so rolls around, the sun begins to filter through. What are your plans for the day?
Hmm.
The dawn of a
Did I
new day rises.
Well, do you
did I
mind if I
ever
ask the
like?
group like? Oh, go ahead.
Sorry. No, you go ahead. Sorry.
My bad. I was gonna ask like before we would have went to sleep. Was there anything that like anybody would have tried to get done?
Hmm.
Well, we have had the time to, Prim.
It wouldn't have been daylight hours, so if you have to go to a stop or something, it's definitely shut. But if you just have stuff you need to get done, yes.
Like just amongst the house. Just
Yeah.
because I think Venus would definitely have checked on Asona.
Yeah,
Did
you.
Mallory sleepwalk at all? I don't want to know that.
Mallory, absolutely. You always sleepwalk.
Oh fuck! I forgot Mallory be sleepwalking.
Yeah, y'all all stay at Mallory's house and just see them bumping into walls and stuff, and you're just like, okay
Oh
then.
my god.
Asona did get moved to Mallory's place. By the way, Asona, as it has been another day, I'm not going to keep making you roll first aid because you do have a doctor on your staff. And by on your staff, I mean right over there next
Shout
to
out,
you.
shout out to Silver.
Everyone sakes, thank you, Dr. Silver.
Thank you, Doctor
Thank
Thank
you,
Silver.
you,
Dr. Silver.
Hold on. I kind of like that now.
Oh no, we've given him power.
um,
So, question: does that mean I have gained my hip
You may
back,
roll
or
another d4 to see how many more hit points you get.
Is there any way we can help with those rolls?
It's a, you can only help by maybe making it a little higher, and that's all you can do. You get make it a d6.
Woo.
She rolls a
Ooh,
3.
Yeah, buddy?
nice.
Ben, you get
Full
a
hit point.
Nice.
6 hit points back.
I'm up to full health now.
Yay.
You
Oh
are.
fucking god.
I'm gonna be so honest. Given how fast that was, I'm going to blame certain things. Actually, hmm. Can you roll sanity?
Oh,
It's not gonna be.
okay.
You're not gonna go insane. I just want to see if you notice something.
Oh.
Oh, you notice this. Why is this what you succeed at?
Oh no. Oh
The power of
Here.
being in Mallory's house.
I'm the
Silver.
most here.
You know what? I was gonna give an actual lore reason, but the power of lesbians actually seems a lot
no. No,
funny.
give a lore reason. Give a lore reason.
Are you
please.
sure you don't just want being near your boat to heal your? I'm kidding. Of course, that doesn't work. If it did, no one would die in this universe. Everyone's gay. Anyway, I have no self control today. Anyway, Silver, it's you that picks up on it a little bit before Asona does. As you're helping them to change their bandages, move into the house, you notice they're flushed for color far more than you'd think someone who was quite literally bleeding out in the back of a car for several hours, probably a full day, should have been. You don't think it's any of the tonics that were given to them, as they seem very spry and capable of, well, not fully moving, and there is a limp and a sway to their walk. They're still moving the night before. Part of you almost instinctively just thinks it's like you being an elf and them being a tiefling. Certain races will heal a little bit faster than others. So you do truly assume that maybe that's the cause and maybe their body's just patching up faster. Until the next morning, when you go to check their injuries again, changing the bandages, to find that not only have the wounds almost fully begun to heal over, there is still heavy scarring. But where you would expect hardened red and almost pulsing red flesh around those wounds, it has a ever so slightly green hue to it. At first, you think it might have been infected, but the wound seems perfectly fine and are healing up across the body.
Um,
Asona, you don't quite notice this as you haven't truly had enough experience with this level of a heavy injury. But as you look. Hmm?
Spider-Man.
Asona, as you look down at your hands, you recall where that one particular puzzle box had pricked you and left those green imprints across your hand and that stain that never seemed to come off. And you swear the hue is just ever so slightly darker and spreading along the veins in your fingers. Or not the vein, the grooves in your hand. Probably nothing, though.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
I will also say with the 38th, that is a
Nothing
very...
wild.
I will also say with the 38th, that is a very familiar green color.
Um,
Mm.
I think I'll show it to Silver. Like, hey, I recognize this. Is this normal? Is this the medicine?
Silver Asona is holding out green hands to you. Like the grooves and the etches that make up their fingerprints are starting to stain green.
The DM told me that I thought this was like a racial thing. His nose starts bleeding a little bit.
Yeah, until you see the green spread. Like you're like,
The
I'm sure it's
DM
fine. See the green spread. What in the?
racial thing. Oh my god.
A
But
racial thing.
no, that's not something you would typically see in the process of healing. Um, this has never happened to you before.
Okay.
So in a roll
I'm
memory
just
to see
gonna
if you've ever been shot before.
me
Yes,
remember?
yes, we're gonna see if you've ever been shot before.
I'm assuming it's the stuff she drank at Irene's
Or
combined
maybe
with
the
the
shit
puzzle.
she
Maybe.
got pricked with when she was doing that puzzle is still in her
Yeah.
bloodstream.
With
Yeah, I
another
already
hard
thought you had.
success, Asona, you shot
Oh,
yourself
no.
You shot yourself once on accident. You got grazed by a knife a couple of times. Didn't do this.
Yeah, I was. I could have swore I got. Wait, I got shot at the place too. Like I got shot up at the scene of the explosion. Um, I don't think I have enough brain power to put anything together.
Well, having heard that this isn't normal for her, is there anything that I can like roll to see if I would know what it is?
I will let you either make a hard occult check or I think extreme medicine check. Either will probably get you a decent answer.
Oh, this is some bullshit.
Yeah.
My occult is a 5, bro.
Yeah. Make a
Yeah,
regular.
it's the
You can make.
residential weird bitch.
I'll allow a regular occult check if you
I actually
dare.
want to.
You know, the
Wow.
funny thing is, I have enough luck points to make it, but
No.
no.
I want to show everybody. I want to show everybody in the group because he's the doctor, but the cult expert is Venus.
Come downstairs after probably sleepwalking into a wall. Or Mel, probably waking up Mel. Wake her up.
Mallory, you notice absolutely nothing wrong. It just looks like Asona's hands.
What?
I'm gonna take the moment to remind you specifically, Mallory. You told me you're red-green colorblind.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
She can't see green.
yo.
It looks fine to you. It just looks like the normal brown of her hands.
It'll
No,
look
it's
like
still but a different
really-
color.
It will look
Right?
like it'll look gray.
No,
Yeah, it'll
no,
look like a
not
grayish blue.
gray. No, that's worse.
It'll
So
look
red-green
it'll look like a bluish
colorblind
color.
basically means you can't tell the difference. Not that it's
No, she
gray,
can't-
but the fact it merges together to look kind of brownish regardless. So you're literally
Oh, the
just thinking her
undertone.
hands got a little bit darker in etched lines. Like,
yeah, she can see red and blue. She cannot see green or yellow. So
yeah,
that's
you
the
can't see.
problem.
You cannot see this.
Oh wow.
That's wild.
Oh yeah, fun fact: Mallory's makeup is off. Since
Ooh.
it's like early in the morning.
You all see makeupless
Venus
Mallory.
would be. What's makeupless Mallory look like again?
Hold on, let me find it.
Bald,
Yeah.
bald.
Yeah.
She didn't put her wig on yet.
That's insane. Insane. Image. Hold on, let me find it.
As you can see, we're a very supportive group of friends here.
Can I say that Venus would have been up for the better part of the night / very early morning, like trying to decipher
Yes,
the
you may either roll your
things that they
occult.
got.
You may either roll
I'll paste it in chat.
you may either
Yeah,
roll your occult, or I think you have an archaeology skill, don't you? Roll either.
I do.
If you have a
Occult is a
languages, I'll
little
also
bit
accept
better.
that.
It's pretty
God damn!
Nice.
I Venus, you thought this be
Mm-hmm.
difficult. You have not looked at this kind of writing in like years upon years, traumas upon traumas. You expected this to be difficult. But the minute you crack open one of the books and look to the other and understand just enough of one to get the other, this is the easiest thing of your life. The hardest part is writing down the new transcription.
Mm.
Like, that's the only part of this where you're sort of struggling, but it is easy. And it's only about a couple of chapters into doing this, though, you realize this is a little less of a grimoire, more of someone's research notes turned diary.
Oh my god. Who's the author?
There is no author to this. At least the
What the
author's
fuck are
name
they
is
researching?
not one you recognize.
Mm. Am I getting an idea of what they were researching?
As you continue to work through, you can tell that they're attempting multiple different spells, grimoires, and seem to be very obsessed with some form of glass work. There's a very specific volcanic ash that can be utilized. You've heard of the practice beforehand. It used to be a fairly easy way to tame more arcane magic from the lands itself. But the practice is horribly out of date because no one's ever figured out how to do it. This seems to have been someone at the time that was experimenting with different variations of that glass. The big problem you're having is that there's words you don't recognize even when translated. Some of them seem to refer to dates or timetables, some of them refer to events, some you're not sure if it's a name or a god. You're able to deduce a lot about the research. You're also able to deduce the fact that they're doing this on behalf of a friend of theirs, a noble that has been increasingly concerned, and they've been trying to do this to better them and to help them and to help that friend. But there's a lot of words here that's going to require a little bit more research for you to decipher like the exact of what they were trying to do and what happened. Most of what you can tell is that they were very obsessed with this glass work. They got it to succeed and work. And then the latter part of the book somehow becomes a bit more of a personalized diary of the different formats they've been able to create before it just seems to go wrong. There are pages upon pages of them starting to slowly lose themselves over and over again. Some of it is nonsensical writing that will end in 3 or 4 formulas or 3 variations of the formula they utilize to create the glass. Some are specific ingredients. Some of the pages seem to be smeared with what you're not sure is blood, but you're not sure what else it could be given the contents that it's written in. It's a lot.
Wow.
But yeah, you get that thing done in a night.
Venus has like 3 pots of coffee around them, I think. And several mugs. And with this glass, is it like reflective? Is it giving mirror, almost like mirror-like material?
It's not giving mirror-like material. It's... You ever hear the stories about Roman concrete?
No.
Welcome back to Me Being
Yeah.
Autistic, sponsored by Prim the Autolotl.
Yeah,
So there's a lot of historical things that were so common. Basically, there is a phenomenon that happens in history where something is so commonplace or so well known that no one bothers to specify about it when writing it down. Modern day, that would be things like telling you to just text someone something. But if you hand that to someone 500 years in the future where they don't have a concept of a phone or instant messaging, the word text becomes confusing. And that's what's happened with several kingdoms in history, but more commonly it's happened with 2 arts. Linen making, well, muslin making specifically, and Roman concrete. Roman concrete was known to not only be a natural coolant, but also could trap heat, was known to be ungodly levels of sturdy, bendable, and could survive just about anything. But no one could quite figure out how to make it, even when following exact recipes from Roman people and Roman craftsmen, like some of the best, some that were passed on just for the process of making it. After several experimentations, it turns out the only difference in the recipe is you need seawater and not normal water. But to a Roman, they literally would have never considered you wouldn't know to just get water from the sea. And it's those very slight differences that cause a huge problem there. What the Instant Notebook alone could be worth 20 years of research on itself, multiple accreditations and awards, just because this has actual accurate descriptions about everything needed, has caused several realizations about the process of it. But yeah, that would be about the closest accurate to this. It's not like a mirror or anything. It's basically just another form of glass that was very long thought dead. This has been I Know Too Much History.
No, that was actually really fun. Thank you for the explanation.
Yeah. The muslin is worse, and I'm mad about it every day.
That's interesting as fuck. But I'm sorry. I see Ari is losing her shit in chat. What are you talking about?
Well, Ari is losing their shit in
The
chat. I will.
bottle. The bottle, it's like a session or two ago when we went into Irene's house where Constance was reflected in the bottle of the glass. It's possible that it's like a container or like that's still what the glass is made of.
You have, I believe Venus took the bottle that Irene was holding. It's
You
still the
did
exact
take
same
the
substance.
bottle.
It's the exact same substance across all the bottles.
I'm assuming, in my theory, is that they still use that, or the cults use that. It can put magic inside of it, which is why it has more of a hallucinogenic property. That is my guess.
I don't know. Shit. I don't know. That's a good theory.
Because I did have that in my notes. That's why.
Well, you have the substance.
One way to test it.
Right.
Do you drink it?
Pretty much.
Do you drink it?
I will not be babysitting.
I'll drink it. Not the first time.
Mallory.
I do not know if
It was a
now.
joke.
Wait.
It was a
Hold
joke.
on.
It was a joke.
Are we talking? Are you sharing this with the group of these
Yes.
plans?
Yeah. I'll just say
Like,
what
are
I
we
just said out loud.
convening y'all? Yeah. Okay. Cool. Because
I was about to say,
let's.
did I show Venus my hands yet?
Yes.
Oh yes.
Oh yeah.
Can
I'll
I
look.
roll a check for that?
Yes, you may roll an occult regular for that, while Mallory prepares to drink this.
Asona, dear, there's nothing there.
There is, but
I'm gonna use luck points for that.
With luck points, this definitely isn't an occult practice. Like, this is definitely not something occult. This is not something in anything you've ever researched or seen. This color, the shade of green, isn't even really something that pops up often.
what do you think, Venus?
Does it resemble the puzzles? Because I did do the puzzle.
It doesn't look like the puzzle cubes themselves. Sona specifically would know that when they accidentally pricked themselves with that puzzle boxes, this is the substance that came up on their hands. That they kind of had trouble washing out. Or like, this is the same color of it, and kind of growing in the same spots. But like, Venus, it's not doing it for you.
Is it
because Venus is human?
I was just about to ask that.
As far as you're aware, there are like 2 exact forms of occult practices or older practices that are race specific or species specific. This does not seem like one of them.
Venus, is your hands doing this? Is this
like one is for one is for satyrs and the other is for like actual sea folk, and you this does not look like either.
Venus will show Asona their hands, and do their hands look normal?
Your hands look normal. Where that puzzle did prick you, you see that where the puzzle did prick you and some of that liquid rubbed off, you see that there's still a slight green stain to it, but it's not spreading the way it is on for Asona.
I'm concerned.
Do I notice any other odd things about Asona? I guess like as I am looking at like her hands, kind of giving her like this checkup, this once over.
Nope.
Are my horns still out? Wait.
Are your what?
Are my horns still out? Because I was hiding like a significant amount of them.
Oh yeah, you wake up in the morning. I feel like at this point everyone's just getting. I feel like at this point it's more a game of how many more horns does a soda have.
Mm-hmm. Like, I think Venus is absolutely seeing this on the horns right now, but like they don't give a fuck.
Like it's not even the
Not
fact
even
that it's
something like we would have thought to comment on. Like, okay.
Mm-hmm.
like I don't think it's actually the fact that a soda has horns or anything. I think it's the fact that every now and then you'll look up and see their hair shift and go, "Oh, huh, there's more." Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god, there's another one? Huh.
I think the minute I see your eyes shift to my head, I'm gonna try and fix my hair.
You immediately show 4 more horns trying to fix it.
Venus will tilt their head and say, "Why do you go through the trouble of hiding them?"
Um, I'm actually gonna go dead silent and just kind of walk away.
Venus
Like, oh,
gives like
yep.
a little nod.
Like,
That
oh,
was different.
did not expect that question, and just gonna, try still fix my hair, but like walk away. Like, oh, yep, okay, yeah.
I, I guess she's subconscious about them. I don't.
I guess.
The horns.
Like, man, I'm hungry. When is breakfast?
Oh, breakfast has already been is being served now. If that's something you're concerned about.
I'm gonna go towards breakfast.
All right. Yeah. So Silver is gonna wash his hands for just a little too long to feel natural, and then sit down for breakfast.
All right, Ben. It is breakfast time. Of the things you do actually have in your calendar that you have scheduled for the day, Chell does. I'm gonna move it to probably like a lunch or an early dinner, but lunch usually was that late. So you just basically have like a lunch early dinner at the War Office with the Colonel.
That's like now. I thought that's
Oh,
like
that's like
dinner.
later in the day. Yes, later in the day.
Okay. Okay.
But you'll eventually have to make your way over there very promptly. Not yet, but eventually. Um, I don't recall what the rest of you were particularly looking to do, though, so you will have to let me know what you wish to do.
Mm, hmm. Okay, so let's talk this out above board and kind of take stock of like what we know, right? Let me go look at the fucking ritual. Spire, too much. Breath of 10 to keep them sane. The execution of the thief. What's up with that one? I don't think we know anything about that.
Which one?
That 10 is the execution of the thief.
You're not sure.
Hmm.
Lottie had explained a couple of these, more so the purpose of some of them. Some of them she didn't have an answer for. So, like, for example,
Mm-hmm.
Execution of the Thief, she really didn't understand that one well. No one ever told her. The Chronicler's Report was the only one she did know, and that one was that someone has to be designated to watch this process from start to finish and document it for the records, for history itself to see. The Breath of 10, she had a guess that it was frankly just some way of taking 10 people's breath from them, or possibly 10 sacrifices themselves, but she did not know how they were picking them, what method was going to be used to take them. That information's lost to her.
Mm-hmm. And the second
Do we
spire
know? Okay,
requires
sorry.
a breath and blood. Oh, my bad. No, I was just gonna reiterating what Prim said because, like, do y'all think that Mal and Asona took care of the first spire? Is that
Yeah,
safe to
because
assume?
it said they said in the achievement chat that there was the first
That's
spire
true.
was
Right,
destroyed by
right.
Mallory.
Yes.
So that we
So
can
By the
assume that
way,
they're
oh
trying
my
to work on the
goodness,
second spire.
newspapers are a thing. Mallory, do you get the newspaper?
Oh my gosh,
I forgot about
yeah,
this.
I did too. Shit.
I
Wait,
did
how many?
also.
I was about to say how many
Beautiful.
people were involved in that explosion because we might have completed that one.
Yeah, so
Exactly my train of thought.
opening the newspaper, you see that there are, in the back of the newspapers, a lot of memoriams still to Agnes and the Demont family as a whole. Both to Agnes and Pia, some family members, some not family members, but some friends of both of theirs from their youth coming to speak out and speak up. Not a lot.
Nothing.
Bet. She got words.
Mm-hmm.
Agrees with me.
But the front page, what you expect to see on the front page is maybe a major event or something, maybe even that huge explosion. Instead, what details the front page is an earthquake. A quite literal ground-shattering earthquake within the plains that the capital only got the aftershock of, that has cleaved an entire area open and has rendered one of the ports unusable.
What area?
I'm gonna get the map.
Oh my God. Yeah, can you actually take us to the map, please?
I'm the map. I'm the map. I'm the map. I'm the map. I'm the map.
I absolutely knew you were about to do that.
I know what I am. I am a child of Dora. Because I wasn't allowed to watch Disney. Or SpongeBob.
That is crazy. That is crazy. You were robbed. Every time I see someone saying that they weren't allowed to watch XYZ, I'm like, you were robbed, bro. You were in fact robbed.
I should be doobie doo. I should be doobie doo. Where is it? Here it is.
I'm so scared of where you're about to mark this ship.
Wrong area. I'm sorry. That did not land where I wanted it to. There we go.
Hold on. I'm not at the thing open. Where'd it go?
Oh, okay.
Oh, right there.
Yeah.
That was where we. Was that where we were? Station B?
No, actually, y'all were closer over here, I believe.
Yeah, we were at the Highlands, weren't we?
Yeah, we were like
that's near
to the
the
mountains,
station.
I believe.
Oh, then yeah, that was near you.
God damn. Okay.
In more news though, this entire coast from the article, seemingly according to it, the destruction has rendered it almost fully unusable. However, in the reports and from reading it through, there's a lot of people speaking that it is the reports say seem to be people assuming it's enemy soldiers or enemy attacks, but there seems to be something odd that has broken through the port that's the real reason it's not usable. I'll give all of you have learned enough to read between the lines to figure it out.
I'm guessing someone altered it, maybe. That's my guess.
The news does go through very heavy censorship.
Yeah. There's a reason they're not listing it.
Okay.
You also see, as you scroll a bit farther back, there is a mention in a couple later articles of the destruction of the Demont Memoriam. Seemingly the Demont Memoriam was that spire that you had destroyed. The focus, though, is on a little bit less of that, and while your names are not brought up directly, it is brought up that some sort of a freak accident has caused an explosion that has killed the majority of the townsfolk. There are about 56 dead and 27 injured but alive.
Oh my God.
Is that majority?
That's the entire... That was barely a 100-person town.
You know what? That's
and
still issue. What can I say?
That was like maybe a 40-person town and 50 workers that came in.
They got a procade, bro. What can I say? I can't say anything.
Oh my God. We have killed so many people.
Do you know how close? Do you know how close I am to rolling to see if kids died in that? I'm not gonna.
Please
but who? Wait, I need to leave this on here.
I do want to say, as she's reading the newspaper, she definitely recognizes the area because that's where she grew up.
There's no mention of your hometown in this.
Okay.
Not to discourage you, but quite literally, there's no mention of your hometown. Your hometown is relatively small. People wouldn't know to look for it if they tried.
I don't know if that's concerning or relieving.
It should be a bit of both.
Okay.
Mm.
You did kill a lot of people.
A lot of people. Y'all killed a town.
Asana is
It was
sworn
me,
to
it was
protect
Mallory.
and serve.
I'll take the blame for it. It was Mallory.
Hey,
I want to look. I'm gonna look at Mallory are you seeing this?
you reading this shit?
Are you reading? I am. Not
You did a
the first
lot of
time.
damage.
Not the first time.
Not the
I'll
first time.
disclose it.
Venus looks at her like, what?
Not the first time. What is?
It's like Keith is still here.
Oh, roll library use, by the way. Anyone who wants to notice something fun in the newspaper. A couple of fun things.
Of course.
Oh,
I
nice.
Can I check the
I'll-
watch?
Yes, actually, you notice that two of them do seem to be glowing dimly, but not well.
Mm.
Okay.
Stones that are on the thing, right?
Uh,
How many
let me.
stones are on the watch again?
I forget because what's the name that
10.
extreme success.
It was 10? I thought you changed it.
I did. It's 10. I changed it to 10. It used to be 15.
Okay. Right. Okay,
Oh.
cool.
I made it manageable.
So we have an addition of one because at first it was only one glowing.
Now it's 2.
They're faded. Like, so two of them are more faded glowing. You do know that when they're faded like that, it's more so that they're being attempted, but it's not fully glowing yet, so you probably got a little time.
Okay. Thank you for that.
Let us see. For those with
Did
the
Lottie
success.
tell us? Sorry. I was gonna say, did Lottie tell us that the things were going in order, or they just glow when something happens?
Lottie informed you that they would glow whilst a ritual was either in progress or in the steps of completion, but there was no actual way for her to set an order to them. Usually, a couple will fade out. Usually, a few will fade out when a ritual fails, but you can't tell which ones are happening in, which order, because there's no true order to them.
Okay.
Venus rolled an extreme success, and I rolled a success. So what do we find?
Bet.
I wrote a success too.
Asana also succeeded.
1 second.
Oh,
There are,
just,
by the way,
just silver.
1 sec, by the way, there are 2 stones that have fully glowed red, 3 that have faded into black, and the rest are kind of like this tinted sort of shade where they're inactive.
Wait, if they're 10, are they represent the breath of 10?
You got no clue.
Wait, I'm sorry. Can you repeat the colors of the gems on the watch again? Like what's lit and whatnot? Like were you just talking about that?
Yeah,
You
they
said
can be bright red like they're glowing, fully blacked
Right.
out like a black screen, or kind of a half sort of hue red, like kind of like very dull. If it's dull, it's inactive and hasn't started yet. If it's partially glowing, it is starting up or the steps are being taken. If it is fully glowing and has not stopped glowing, the ritual is completed. If it is fully blacked out, the ritual's been stopped.
Do we have any that are fully glowing?
2.
2 are fully red. So how many are lit up?
2.
You said? How many? 2. How many were
2
fully
are
black?
fully glowing, 2 are glowing dimly,
2 are glowing dimly.
and the rest are black?
Yep.
2 are
So
2
that's
are
6
fully
that are
red.
black.
2 are dimly lit, and the rest are fully black. So that's 2, 4. So that's 6 are
Which
fully
ones
black.
can we? I think the bloodletting we know has been completed because that was old girl, that was Pia.
You were also informed the sigil markings were completed.
Exactly, yeah, the safe passage, so that we know that those are the ones that have been completed.
You're not you have the list. You're not exactly sure which of those remaining 3 were attempted and where they failed. You know that Lottie killed Thea to stop one of the 3.
Damn, y'all.
Murder
For real.
But yes, what do y'all want to do with your days?
Is there
Oh,
any
what
way we
about the
can
library use?
Sorry. Oh yeah, the library use.
Yes, I'm sorry. Mallory, while flipping through it, you will notice. Ow, my neck. Mallory, while flipping through it, you'll notice that there is a anniversary gala coming up soon. Basically just marking the anniversary of your nation's founding. It's one of the very few award things that you get celebrated, and mostly you notice it because your mind goes to you will probably need to start making more dresses or to have your store open a little bit later, and then you remember the situation you're in, and it feels very irrelevant.
Okay.
Isana,
When is that the anniversary for the gala for the anniversary?
it's in a few weeks.
How much is a few weeks? Like, because a week has passed, so I'm guessing it's like at the end of the month or something.
We're on what, day 9, day 10?
Day technically, if the sessions are like a day 11 or 12, I believe.
Yeah. If you're on day 12, it's in. God, you're making me do math. 19 days? Not 19 days. Not 9. 9 days. That's not how weeks work. It is how weeks
No,
work. I don't know.
weeks are 7 days.
It's in 2 weeks.
I mean,
How's that?
I want to say a couple of weeks
14.
would be fine. That sounds about
No,
right.
what? What?
It is in 2 weeks. Let's do that.
14 days?
Sure.
So like
I can work with 14 days. I know how math
20,
works.
28?
Yeah.
Hmm. Okay.
Alrighty. Let's see. You notice that. Venus, flipping through it, you are actually going to notice it's tucked away in the article. It's at almost the very bottom. But when they speak about enemy soldiers breaking through to home lines from the ports, or when some of them mention seeing like strange figures, all of that, there's a photo attached to one of them.
Oh shit.
It seems to be something between a photo and a sketch, or a photo someone has attempted to fill in with the sketch. And despite their attempts to fill in over the sketch to make it seem more like someone in a uniform with an actual weapon, it looks like a very disfigured sort of creature. The arms are too long, the shoulders are slanted at a weird height. You're pretty sure the head is not supposed to turn like that. It's far too blurry, and the ink even makes it so it's hard to tell what you're looking at. But that's not normal.
Venus will point it out. I feel like would Mallory allow people to smoke in here?
Please don't. My brother is here.
Okay, got it. Then
Oh, speaking of,
Venus
y'all
will
see an 8-year-old walk by? Stop. Look at you all.
He's 12.
Keep walking to. Oh, I'm sorry. Y'all see it. You mostly give me kids. You see a 12-year-old walk by? Stop. Look at you all. Walk back to the kitchen. Get a box of cookies. Walk back upstairs.
Who's that?
Don't eat all of those.
You can't make me.
I want a cookie.
I'm
And
guessing
Venus
that's
will like tap the picture. This is not normal. This doesn't
Does
look
it
human.
look?
Look at this.
Do you have like a visual image of what it actually looks like, or?
Yes, one sec. Keep talking while I find it.
Yeah, they'll hold their magnifying glass over it and then
Rapidly
use like one
goes.
of their like long
Rapidly
nails.
shifts through my Pinterest board because I remember I
Really?
saved the damn thing in here.
I love that.
Was that your brother?
Oh yes, I do have a younger brother.
He's cute.
Little rascal he is.
You see it had. You see you hear up from the stairs. I'm not cute.
Yeah, he's
Yes,
a
he
growing
is.
boy, so it's a shame I leave him here alone all the time.
I'm gonna like whisper like I miss my brother.
Oh, by
Did
the way,
any of
you're
us hear that?
yes.
Oh, you have a brother?
You have family, Asuna?
Yeah, I do have a younger brother, um, and family.
Well, you never
My
mentioned them.
my mom's dead.
Oh,
Uh, And
I didn't mean to open any unsavory memories for you.
no, no, she was good. She was a good woman. Um, and
I can't find this image, but you ever seen a splicer from BioShock?
No,
no,
Okay, one
I'll just
second.
Google it.
but
Yeah, I'll just look it up.
she died peacefully. Yeah, at least. The rest of my family, I've never, I haven't talked to them.
Oh, yeah, I'm pasting it in chat. I just found a concept image.
Creepers.
Yes, don't you have a brother too?
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
it's not bad.
Yeah, but if you
When-
look at it really closely, it's really gross.
Let me look at it.
Oh. Mm-hmm.
Won't
Yeah.
you come on down to
Mm,
Rapture?
Yeah, it's a thing where
Bum.
someone tries to look human and it looks really off.
mm-hmm.
It's AI.
It's not.
No.
Yeah. It's real
No.
good.
Never. The AI will
That was a
always be the
multi.
villains.
That was a multi-layered joke. I appreciate it.
Mhm. Mhm. So hold on. What can like could out of all the things that we have come to understand thus far, would I have any fucking idea what the hell that is?
Does it resemble the cadaver thing that they found around like session 2?
Yes, it does. Not.
Oh.
So
Let's bring
ghostly.
Now,
this
It's
mind
back.
you,
scary.
unfortunately, mind you, not exactly.
Yeah.
But it's very, mind you, this is like a very blurry photo, right? But, like, you recognize the kind of shape of something's not right about that thing.
Is that how Pia went out looking like that?
Yeah.
Pia went out fully dissected.
No. Yeah, but she went on dissected. It was a different motherfucker.
Oh, I don't like these
Um
pictures. Mm.
Like the
At
only
the
person I
bottom
feel
of
like
the
who would be
deep
able
blue
to weave
sea.
someone like this to like
Uh,
weave this together is Dr. Elsner. Like I think we need
yeah.
to talk. I think we need to pay her a fucking visit. I really do.
Right, I'm there.
What area was this sighted in? Like the blue areas here, or
Yeah, like is it Dr. Elsner shit around here?
Actually, if I'm not wrong, checks my map again rapidly. I swear I marked stuff on my map that y'all can't see. Oh
don't be
No, I
god.
shy.
swear.
Let us see it.
No.
Yeah. Show
No.
us the
My
Bible.
maps. My work. I I apologize. I'm in such a fucking meme mood today. Oh my god, I know I labeled this. It's
Hey,
been a
I'm
minute,
sorry.
but if I'm not wrong, she's either station C or A. I think she's C. I'm almost confident she's C.
Okay.
Okay. How long would it take us to get to Station C?
A day.
Because we're currently a day. Okay.
Oh god.
That's a day's
What
ride.
about Station B? What about Station B?
B, 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 B. 2 days.
Nice.
Remember, it takes you a day to reach every station.
Okay.
We know that they all have an important part to play in this, right? Like that's what it's seeming to me at least. Or they even if it's not important, vital, because vital and important don't have to be the same thing. And I don't know, out of all of them, like Elsner's whole thing is BBLs or whatever. And so like I just think it's her. I don't know. And before I fucking forget, because the ADHD is ADHD and Prim. You
Hi.
know how we discovered what the instrument was? It was like some fucked up wooden and glass string bullshit. Is this the same glass from like the thing that the tome that Venus has, like those research notes? Am I getting the vibe like this is that
So,
material?
it's not the same material. However, one of the benefits of that glass is that it could be utilized. You could basically bend that glass like it's clay. Like, even while it was
Oh.
like you could literally shape it into ways that were very difficult to do. It was hot as hell, but it had the sturdiness to do that without cracking or breaking when cooling. You can't think of another process that would have allowed it to be glassed and covered like this. But when you saw the instrument that Lottie had on her, or at least the parts of it,
Yeah.
it wasn't made of that glass. So Lottie had to do some fucked up shit to get it to do that. Lottie probably was fucking killing herself for days or weeks getting it to do that.
Okay.
And given the trance-like state you'd seen her in when she was working, it's highly likely she does not fucking remember how the fuck she got that done.
Yeah, and I mean she's dead anyway, so it ain't like I could fucking ask her.
Corpse.
Corpse.
One day y'all will stop making corpses.
Venus has yet to kill anybody. I'm the only person in this party who is not called a body.
That you know of.
I did not either. Technically,
you called a town.
I failed at killing a town.
No, what's worse is technically I had
a whole town.
What's worse is I literally made it so that it should have been impossible to kill the town. But given every action that was taken, the whole town was there when you blew up the spire. Y'all were supposed to kill like 20 construction workers, maybe.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
what you doing for the day?
Yeah, what y'all want to do?
I guess I want to start getting ready for dinner. But I really do have that feeling in the back of my mind that I should pay a visit to my old stomping grounds.
I was gonna make Asona's dress, but I also want to see if there's any evidence of Constance's death in the capital. Like if there's any records of that here.
I'm gonna see the doctor.
Oh yeah, that's also what I slightly forgot. You're looking for records of what again, Mallory?
Constance's death.
Absolutely nothing in the newspapers about that.
No, not in the newspaper. Since we know she died like 5 years ago.
Oh, you want to find the records in the library? Okay, got it. That is the other thing, by the way, you'll notice in there. From the older newspaper copies you have, you see that there was actually an article a little while ago about the fact Irene was missing from her home. But then there is an article in today's newspaper that Irene has been found and has been taken to the Crane Rehabilitation Center to recover from her injuries and rest, and please ask the public to pray for her in this time.
She's back with Crane. Okay.
I don't know why y'all let her go.
Yeah. I didn't know what to fucking do with her. Honestly, I should have fucking kept her though.
Yes, keep a hostage in the tiny little apartment.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I don't know. She was volatile. So.
Yeah, that.
She was just an angry beta fish. That's all. Just a very angry, very shrill beta fish.
We could have locked her in one of Mallory's rooms.
That's what I said.
But no one listened
to me. I was called a bad woman.
I can't fucking breathe.
For the record, I did say to keep her.
No, you did.
For the record, Mallory did say don't let her out of your sights. All right, so one of you is going to the library. One of you is preparing for the dinner that will be happening later. What about the rest of you?
So, okay, question real quick. Elsner shit is near Station C. Where is Crane's facilities at?
F. One station behind hers.
Of course I have to get closer to the fucking Rathford. God damn it.
Yup.
Venus wants to go visit Elsner. And because, like, they have to go see... They want to check on Xavier anyway. They think Elsner is 100% up to some fuck shit. Ugh.
Fair enough.
I don't even know if I should feel guilty about Shorty being with Irene being in the Crane facilities because, like, I don't know what part she had in killing her wife. You know what I mean? Like, is she a victim in all this, or was she also like a participant and also a victim? I don't know. I can't. I don't have enough information yet.
Yeah, unfortunately, events taken stressed her out far too much for her to answer some questions.
Yeah, that's fucking valid. I
In
don't
her
know.
defense, she was getting handcuffed to a car, so she didn't really talk much.
Yeah, that's fair.
Just a lot of screams and flailing. All right, so one of you is going to prepare for a trip up to visit Elsner. Silver,
I'm going to.
you're going with them, bet. And we will allow Keith when they get back to decide where they're going or what they want to do in specific. But that leaves two of you to visit Elsner, one of you to go to a dinner party, and one of you to go to the library. Let's do it. And we will get to that in about 5 to 10 minutes. For now, we're going to take a short tea break, so I will see you all in 10 minutes. Don't go anywhere. Venus. My mic is still muted, and we are back, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Mortui, Vivos, Docent. Now, we have the group dividing into two. One group is going to go to the library and then split off for dinner plans, and the other group is going to head over to the train station. So, who do we want to start with?
Y'all want to go first?
Let's rock, paper, scissors for it.
I was gonna say roll for it. How are y'all gonna determine rock paper scissors?
Y'all,
I'm
y'all
curious
is
myself.
All right, let's call evens or odds. I call evens.
please
Odds,
hold.
I guess. Oh, my bad.
Oh no, that works. Save me having to track down a dice. Evens.
So I guess they go first.
You guys go first. All right. So you all are going. So Silver and Venus, you all travel your way. You all pack a bag from what belongings you were able to grab from both of your apartments as well. Travel your way down to the train station. It is more chaotic than you're used to it being today. It seems that the earthquake did cause a lot of a lot of delays and a lot of issues. So there's a lot of people arguing and fighting, a lot of chaos, but you do manage to find a train that's going down to this area. The fee's a little higher than you're used to because of the short notice in the earthquake, but they don't seem too hesitant to get on there. Both of you just roll me luck. If there's luck on there, roll it. If not luck, roll me same memory, and we'll just use that as a base metric.
Okay. Can I say I am still absolutely packing my shotgun?
Oh, of course. I always expect you have a shotgun on you. We're gonna go by the highest gets to do it. And that is Silver. Silver, while at the train station, you get the feeling you are being watched. As you look around to find the source, bit of ways away, you see that there is a man you actually partially recognize. He's typically a regular at your bar, though you don't quite have a personal relationship with him. He sort of sees you and motions for you to come towards him.
We're on the train.
You're still at the station waiting.
Okay, got you.
I'm going to point him out to Venus before making my way over.
Oh, you can just go. Hey, you're the kid, right? Bartender?
Yeah, that's me.
Yeah, boss wanted to tell me that, well, he said they handled what there was to handle, but, he just wanted to make sure you're okay.
Will be.
Okay. And, like, you, look, you're not into any tainted supply, right? Like, I didn't peg you for a drinker, but you didn't get something that was off, did you?
No.
You sure?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay, so the next question I'm gonna ask is gonna be a little dicier. There didn't happen to be anybody else around when you took care of things, was there?
Was there? Of
You can roll a memory.
course I can.
It's gonna be hard because you were traumatized.
Venus didn't rise from their seat. I think they were probably like reading, going through a journal or writing in it, but absolutely is staring at the back of Silver's head.
Venus, I
Wow.
do think you recognize this person. Let's see how bad they are. Venus, you recognize this is the person that occasionally runs in with like several entire silver drums worth of liquor, throws them on the ground, starts screaming, and leaves. Well, you definitely know this is a guy from the bar, so you're not as stressed out, but you're a little stressed out. Silver, with that roll, to the best of your memory, there was nobody around. It was like pretty late at night. There wasn't even, you didn't even remember actually, the more you think about it, you didn't even really pass anybody as you walked home. It was a weird sort of quiet that night.
No, it was unusually quiet.
Right. So, well, I don't doubt your sanity, kid, but there wasn't anything when we got there. Like at all. There was not a business sign on. There was an on vacation sign on the door. We got in, didn't see no blood, didn't see a weapon, didn't even smell the gun smoke. Actually, we couldn't even find the body. So you didn't happen to call someone else, did you?
No, but maybe Keith did.
Mm. Well, we did what we could anyway. New carpet, cleaned the handles, left it as spotless as possible. There was a mess in the back. We kind of thought that's what you meant, but that felt
Yeah.
a little older than you. Looked like someone tore up a deer back there. Doesn't seem your style.
Mm.
Don't even know where they get a deer this season. It's way too. Anyway, just wanted to let you know that it's been handled, but we'll keep our eye out. Sound good, kid?
I appreciate it.
Of course. And anytime you need something, you know when to call us.
Yeah.
All right. He kind of starts walking off, sees Venus, gives you like a very goofy salute, and then keeps and walks and disappears into the crowd almost perfectly.
Venus gives one of those, black nods.
The urge to make this a white man. I'm kidding.
Absolutely not.
Uh, but yeah, Silver, you may go back and inform Venus of what happened, but the train begins to pull up and you prepare for a very long journey.
I'll do just that.
Venus.
It's weird that nothing was there.
Yup.
That's that's weird as hell. Thea's mess was there, but not her body and not Lottie's. And they said he said there was no business too.
So there was a sign on the door that said out for vacation.
Out for fucking vacation. Okay. That's
Y'all did
wild.
not flip a sign when you left that place.
No, we did not. Well, that's a problem for another day.
Moon and a half. You both
Yeah.
board the train, which means it comes down to Isona and Mallory.
Hello.
The library isn't located too far from your boutique, Mallory. It's very close actually to the academy. Not surprisingly, but it's very close. You know, the academy has its own private library and archives, but this one is the public one. Entering inside, you see not only walls to walls of grandeur, but well polished, well maintained, properly dusted. For buildings this old, this big, a lot of resources that went to them tended to have gone over to the larger military projects or to some of the offices. This one is immensely well maintained. You can see someone has put a lot of love and care into this space. Behind the front desk of the reception, going over a lot of books, you see sort of one eye will scan towards one book, one eye will scan to the other, stop, snap together, doing it over and over again. Is someone Asona very happily recognizes as Hildy. Mallory, all you see is a very short, blonde satyr. She has her hair almost fully wrapped up in a turban style, with just a little bit peeking out towards the front to mimic that shorter hair aesthetic. She is very diligently at her work and has not looked up to see you just yet.
I'm not gonna yell because it is a library, but I am gonna go straight up to the desk like, Hildy.
There's a slight pause. Just goes, Essie, how are you, dear?
It has been a long week.
Oh,
I I I got shot and
oh my goodness. Oh my. This is the loudest you've ever heard her voice. She just goes, "Oh, oh, I'm so sorry for that. Oh my goodness, I am. Well, you seem perfectly fine now. I heard the news, by the way. I suppose you were close to Agnes. I suppose. I'm so sorry for their passing. But I dame now. Congratulations on the promotion.
thank you. Thank
Surely
you
that
very
comes with
much.
a shinier new office and less chances of being shot.
I hope so. I haven't actually seen the
I will be right
office.
back in just testing, testing, testing. Technical difficulties. We're back. Okay.
No. Um, thank you so much. It has been a long week, long week, but hopefully the new office does come with maybe windows this time.
Oh, I. It would be in poor taste for them not to. I mean, I'm not particularly the biggest fan of your profession or the people you work with, but they are very strict when it comes to matters of nobility and giving the promotions. Unfortunately.
And I
Anyway,
can't wait.
who's your friend?
Oh, this is Mallory. Mallory, this is Hildy.
It's very nice to meet you, Miss Hildy.
Well, it is lovely to meet you too. I will have to ask you be mindful of your shoes, please. She kind of points to your
Oh,
heels and then kind of like partially steps around the counter. Just like we do like to keep it peaceful in here.
uh,
Yes.
can you please elaborate?
Oh, simply
It's like
just make sure you're not walking too loud. She walks behind the counter and you see that there's like sort of a soft thing that she's put over the soles of both of her hooves.
Oh, uh,
Oh, I won't ask you to
do you
change,
have
dear. You
any?
look perfectly. You look wonderful. Actually, it's quite beautiful. But
Thank you so much.
just do be mindful, all right?
Of course, I'll maintain my behavior.
do you
Wonderful.
actually have any more of those covers, Hildy?
I do actually. She produces two more. You can tell they're almost entirely made for hose, but they do like cover the front part of your shoe.
I'll
Yeah.
just put those on.
Yeah, they're black, so at least they match.
Yeah.
She just goes. Well, Sona, you know your way around. You know I'm here if you need absolutely anything. All right.
All right, I'll be back because I need to hear about your family. You know.
Oh, of course, the twins are just wonderful. I sent them away pretty recently, though. The oldest is getting ready for their finishing school. It's hurting my heart.
Oh, but this is what you wanted. This is them growing up.
I know, but they're my babe. I'm sorry. I'm keeping you. Go, 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 go. We'll talk later.
All right. I just kind of like, I guess I want to turn to Mallory. I was like, I actually don't know why.
Well, we're actually looking for any records pertaining to Constance. This
Oh,
is a public
okay.
library that is subjected to public records for the army, so it's possible that there's something here. And especially since it was almost a decade ago.
Yeah, I want to go. I'm gonna go straight towards the records because I feel so that's something I would have been in often anyway.
You hear
That's
her sort of
fair.
stop and twitch. It sort of goes, apologies, you're looking for records on the Morris family.
If that's possible.
Um, hmm. Traditionally, those records are not kept here. Well, we do have a few of her works and some of her writings and more personal statements, if that's what you're looking for.
A glare to Isona to see if we should tell her what we're looking for.
Um, yeah, I'll actually turn her like, well, this isn't like official police business. We're just actually curious. We did come in contact with one of the Morris family recently,
Oh,
and
Irene. Oh, you must have been who brought her in. Oh, thank the stars for you. I've adored her music since I was little.
yeah,
Yes, and we were wondering if there was any memorials or any other public information pertaining to her.
Well, the Morris family and its constituents have paid and ensured very heftily that much of their private business be kept out of our records and systems. However, I'm certain for a dear friend I could forget where I placed the key to the archives. She sort of looks at Asona. There's like a very knowing smirk on her face.
I'm gonna give her a wink and be like, yeah. Um, God, I'm bad at socializing.
Hildy's patient.
So you're
I'm
very that's be very useful for us,
Of
Miss
course. I just will most certainly hope that there will not be any of your constituents knocking down my doors. Will there be, Asona?
absolutely not. Absolutely not. You know how
Hmm.
they they're so afraid of even coming in here. It's not
I
even funny.
I do not understand why they'd be afraid. I have done absolutely nothing but express my deep disappointment at them for their career and life choices that come out this way. I've known many of them since they were babies. I think they
There's
turn out
like
like
an
this.
Oni mask and a purple aura rising up behind her.
Worse,
Sam.
there's all the aura of a disappointed mother.
That could be why, but
That and I would not be very kind of them to disrupt a calm and orderly atmosphere like this.
yeah, they have no manners, none.
Exactly. Well, I'm certain I can just simply leave this here and forget about it for a few hours and, well, not to break anything and to be very mindful down there, yes?
Of
Absolutely.
course.
All right, off, off. She sort of leaves the key on the table, looks away, and as Asona grabs the key, she kind of leans over and says, "By the way, she is very cute," and then sits back down at her desk.
Are you is she talking
A
about Mallory?
Yes!
full blush, full blush, a full blush is like it's like a caught scream.
What did you say, Soda?
Nothing. Let's go find let's go find those records. And I'm gonna like speed walk as quietly as possible to the record room.
You just hear Hildy, other way, dear.
Uh, Thank you. And like I want to say in her panic to like rush there, she does grab Mallory's hand. Like just like doesn't even realize.
Hildy has the most shitty grin on her face, but you all make your way into the archives.
Yep. So
Asona, you would know the archives are. Everything above is neatly organized, neatly categorized. It's very easy to find what you're looking for. Everything down here is categorized in a way where only Hildy and like about three other people know how it works. That is on purpose, as most of this stuff is supposed to be centered or destroyed. So the disorganization is very much her way of ensuring no one can find what they're looking for down here unless you have one of them. You've been here enough where you should understand the system a little bit to figure out what you're looking for.
yep. I want to ask, is it like kind of no? I want to go for last name since they paid for it to be hidden. I would assume that she's hiding it by last name.
I'm gonna go and look through it by title, like if there's any like her name, if her name's on there. So like author, if that makes sense.
I'll be honest, both of you struggle to find anything that way.
Oh,
Hmm.
I'm actually going to make y'all guess the organization system.
Oh my
uh,
god. Genre.
Nope.
chronological.
Nope.
Damn.
I remind you, this is organized by someone trying to avoid anything being found because this is all supposed to be censored.
It's gotta be hidden in plain sight. Is it like an anagram?
Nope.
Wait. Is it? is it organized by type, like type of death or type of what something's happening?
So
Is it timeline chronological?
there is hundreds of things down here. There are paintings down here. There are some history books down here. There are some mathematical text. There's a whole section just on grimoires, some on fake, some that are real. There's a whole piling of newspapers.
It's
Let's
media
try.
type.
Okay.
They're all mixed in together.
Hmm.
I don't think I'm smart enough for this.
You may call in support in the form of either Venus or Silver to try to deduce what she would have used to sort out information on the Morris family that was hidden.
Spirit of Venus and Silver, please
It'd
help.
be so. I'm guessing it's going to be something that's related. Is it something related to Agnes in some way, since she's related to the Morris family? Kind
Right?
of.
Is it anything related to like the Ignota Foundation? Maybe.
Yeah.
It would not
That's
be
what I was
related
thinking.
to any of those. The Ignota, there are a couple of actual files down here on the Ignota Foundation, but that's an entirely other separate organizational pattern.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So the organization we're looking at
Organizing
right now is just
pattern.
the Grimes family. If that's what we're looking at.
This is just the Morris family. The Morris family is
The Morris.
quite
Okay.
literally just Constance and Irene. You would know that the Morris family mostly just refers to those two. And the only reason it's referred to as the Morris family is that the two were such well-known performers that they basically kind of just perform under the same title and quote-unquote company to make things a lot easier for them.
What's their
Is it
company?
like
Is it
The
a
Morris
color
sorted by
family.
tree
her?
for songs? Maybe.
Okay.
Is
Is
it
like a
sorted by
color
her
tree.
most favorite works?
Repeat that?
Is it sorted by her most favorite works?
Going by her works, which one's works? Irene's or Constance's?
Constance, because she said she was a big fan.
You going into what you think seems to be a relative section of music, you see a few things from Constance, but most of them are from her very early work, and her work as a student, seemingly before she met Irene.
Works. So we can look through.
None of it's helpful.
None of it's helpful.
But you can't tell she has talent. That'd be about the most you could get from Constance at that from her early work. She had a lot of talent and was a very weird person.
Is it organized by like? Is it like a love letter or a letter to the other? You know what I mean? Like, is it Is it a poem? The way it's organized?
You guys want to try
If
that?
that makes sense.
Try.
Yeah.
Receiver.
Your searching starts to shift as not only does the voice of Venus guide you a bit to focus on something a little bit larger or broader, but as it does so, Asona, you do remember Hild is something of a hopeless romantic at heart.
Mhm.
Dawns on you there's
I knew this because this was I do.
you start to search a little bit less for the names or their works or the information and more so around the stories of their marriage. Things that should have been far more publicly published since the family had no issue publishing those. But where those should be in this organizational system, you find a string of articles and reports all labeled towards the tragic death of Constance and the widow Irene, as well as a few works of some of their earlier year performances.
I'm gonna mumble to myself like Hildy cheese. What?
I'm gonna.
Hildy
take the
sneezes
stuff
up.
from my
Hildy
pocket.
upstairs sneezes.
We stop her
I-
sneezes. I'd take it and see what does it say on there. How many is actually there?
Oh,
Like,
there
how
are
many records are
hundreds.
of her death.
There are
No,
some that are audio files. There are some in there that are full police
Oh.
reports. There are newspapers. Everything that mentioned Constance's death seems to have got shoved down here.
Well, we're listening to all of these.
Most of
Okay.
them will be news reportings.
Okay, that makes. Oh. Okay.
How many machines are there that we can use?
I'm gonna say there's 3 down here.
3. All right. So I'm gonna take half the pile, and you take the other half.
Yeah. Can I also? What do the news reports say first before I listen to the? And I can write that stuff down.
So the news reports themselves are a bit of a mix. All of them are from 5 years ago. Most of them are speaking on the great Constance Morris has been found missing for the past week. Wife Irene distraught. Some about Irene, some about Constance being found in the woods near their home. More and more about Irene's grieving period. You see about 2 or 3 years ago mentions of Irene coming back to perform, though at very select venues and very not often, but talks of her coming back to perform. Um, you see a few exposés and research on the life of Constance that she led, which does give you the impression that there was something of a whirlwind romance between the two of them.
You're gonna have to say that again. I'm sorry.
Does give you the impression there was something of a whirlwind romance between the two of them before they got married. Actually, you
I'm
would
guessing those 2-3 years ago when she, because I read her schedule thing. I'm guessing those 2-3 years ago, it was like the time she would perform with Constance.
yes, if you from reading her schedule from 2 to 3 years ago when it seems that Irene had started to perform again, almost every performance that it states that she would go to or attend almost perfectly correlates with the one that Constance was written to have a performance at. Basically, if it says Irene is going to be performing at ABC venue, in the book it seemed that Constance was going to perform there.
This was after her death or before?
Well after. Like 2 to 3 years after.
So 2 to 3 years after her death. Okay. So okay. Anything else from there?
Yes, actually. You're not sure why this one was shoved back here, but you do find an article. You do find a very short article that seems to have been an interview between Irene and Constance. It seems to have been more in the early stages of their marriage, not the early, like sort of the mid stages of their marriage. Talks a lot about themselves, the work that they did, the music that they perform, and everything. But there is a part of the article that seems to have been highlighted or specifically mentioned. Ugh, sorry, my brain is dying. There's a part of the article that specifically mentions them performing with Agnes a few times more so in private, and them absolutely joking and teasing about the experience as a whole because Agnes was a very louder voice than than they could perform. So it always became a bit of a competition for who could perform the loudest, and typically Constance would actually win, which they always found very funny. But as you go through, you do also see that there is a tape seemingly to correlate with one of these performances at one of the governor's balls.
We should pop that one in first.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Anything else aside from that? Did they say
Yeah.
how she died?
Police reports.
Yep, there you go. Thank you.
You all reached what seem to be a few police reports on the issue. These are not official reports. In fact, going through these, Asona, you can very clearly tell this is someone else having hand copied the entire report down.
Are there any names attached?
Yes, but you don't recognize the officer or the detective that was in charge of these cases.
Okay.
Is it? I don't recognize them either. No one from the code or anything.
Nope, you do not recognize the author in charge of these reports, or at least the detective that was stationed over this.
Okay.
They do detail though that there was about a half-year search for Constance's body.
Okay.
And when it was finally found, it was in the woods behind their house. An autopsy revealed that there was nothing in her system, and the decay made it difficult for them to determine anything. But their closest the initial
So wait a minute.
report,
She was behind their house?
she was like 20 or so miles behind their house. There's a lot of just not woods. I keep saying woods and I forgot I put them in basically a plains area. Yeah, she was found like 20 miles in the middle of nowhere in the plains.
But wait, she was found. Hold on, because if we're going off the map, then she was found near like Redwood Farms.
Other way.
And
Oh,
the
yeah.
other way.
Other way.
Okay,
Yeah,
near Station D.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay.
So she was found like somewhere in that huge middle plains area. That's where she was found.
Did they also copy down the autopsy?
Yes. So, Asona, make an investigation check for me.
Um, let's see.
Investigation or something similar.
Nice.
Okay, okay, okay. Isona, this autopsy doesn't make sense. From the autopsy, it mentions there were several short impalements to the chest, specifically at the heart area, more to the stomach, some around the throat, several to the hands. And yet, despite this, it indicates that there is no tearing or randomized slashing, which means that there was no sign of a struggle. It indicates that this seems to have been a very peaceful attack, if it could be called that. But the amount of stabs did declare it something of a crime of passion. That said, the end result of the autopsy determined she was attacked by a wild animal.
Mhm.
And for something that's not
Uh,
only a crime of passion, but the attacks do not correlate, there's no possible way this was simply a crime of passion. Not a crime of passion. There was no simple way this was an animal attack. Animal attacks would have meant mauling and complete tear and destruction. But the fact that even through the rot, they could tell that this was very deliberated stab wounds does not correlate.
I don't necessarily want to take the sheet of paper. Is there a way for me to copy this down?
I was
Or
gonna just copy it down.
okay. Yeah, because I was like, I do not want to take this and break her
Yeah, I
trust.
don't want to take it either. Do we have
But
cameras at all?
no.
Unfortunately, no.
Nope.
I'll say that you'll have SJ's camera if you want it. I'll say that you
Yeah,
just
we'll
like.
take that.
I'll say that SJ just stole a bunch of cameras from the office and gave them to some of y'all.
Yeah.
SJ the criminal.
Yep.
Well, then I guess we can take pictures.
Take pictures of these. Yeah.
Yeah, you guys take pictures of everything. It'll take a day or two for you to get it developed to see it, but you do not have physical evidence of those.
Hey,
Mm,
thank you.
Oh, by the way, Asona, you do entirely recognize these are in Hildy's handwriting. Like every last one of these that got recopied is in Hildy's handwriting.
So she saw the official reports. Cool.
Hildy's an anarchist. Hildy does not answer to authority. Hildy just wants to be in the
Hildy and Vince
library.
been fucking along.
Yeah, I was say, seeing how she doesn't like the police, she more than likely snuck in to get this information.
Hildy said, "Y'all bitches hired me to be an archivist. I'm archiving things, damn it."
Yeah, she's the goat, actually.
Literally.
But
Meredith. Literally.
we can start listening to the audio reports now.
Yeah.
If that's the case. Is that everything on the news reports?
Yeah, I'm gonna say that's just about everything you can deduce from the news reports.
Anything for me to roll? Like, was it occultish in nature at all?
were they able to speak to Irene after they found the body?
Oh yeah, that's there too.
So they did seem to try to speak to Irene, but throughout the entire process and in those interviews, it's just marked that she was inconsolable, so they literally could not get answers out of her.
Mhm.
Like she was just distraught in a way they could not get anything out of her.
Let's listen to those audio files.
Yeah, so going through the audio files two at a time, the bulk of them are literal just radio reportings of Constance's death. Many of them mention her prior performances, some of which have sound clips from it. A lot of them also have sound clips from Irene's performance as well. And it is notable that throughout those performances, while some of the songs that Constance performs specifically are more peaceful in nature, some are upbeat. There are series she does. There's a couple where she'll play the violin almost identical to a fiddle, and it seemed to have caused quite an uproar, as you can hear active gasp from the audience. But every so often within them, you'll hear a few that sound like the magnum opus.
Wait, yeah, I was about to say.
Ever so.
Yeah, because the sound of the when you mentioned the sound that it was playing, and then when you said she played it like a fiddle, I was starting to piece it together. So probably probably the original creator of the sound or like a piece of it.
It doesn't seem to be any in her younger years that this plays. There's one in her younger year that seems to have been an iteration of it, but even that one she isn't mentioned as the composer.
Mm-mm.
It's mentioned to be a favorite song of hers and her wife's. There's actually a few instances of them playing together. But many of the news reports are simply testaments to her work and to her performance. This
So
would be
two
down there though.
so two questions.
All
While
right.
listening to stuff, are there any like cross references from the other people of that we know are part of this group? Like, did Agnes have anything to say about the death, or um, Dr. Elsner, or all the
Yes,
other?
there are more than a few references to her childhood friends of sorts. Mainly, there's a reference to Thea, who was asked to comment but could not give one. Beyond just her grief and the fact that Thea had painted her memorial portrait. There is another mention to Dr. Crane as well, who gave a fairly more eloquent statement of their grief overall to the loss of one of their friends. So soon that they had held dear. There seems to have been a message from the Felton estate, but that one seems to have been more of a general apologatory notice. Uh, there's nothing from Agnes regarding the death, and there's nothing from Elsner.
And then
There's also nothing from Lottie, but from your understanding, and as you read through a lot of these articles, you start to realize Lottie's very rarely mentioned.
okay. And then another question: once we start hearing the magnum opus, does that time correlate with any of the news articles where it's seemingly as she's getting more and more in the spotlight, where she's getting more and more better, I
Oh,
guess.
absolutely all of them.
Mm.
Seemingly the magnum opus performance and the time that she did perform the song close to it, and then when she started to perform almost identical to it, very heavily correlated with the rise to stardom. She'd always been denoted as something of a prodigy, but the time of the song is not only very close to when her and Irene started to perform together, but also when there was a markable rise to her success. It's not attributed to the song, but simply to her talent finally being discovered, despite her eccentricities, as it gets constantly worded. One of the
And
things
her,
you
go ahead.
Say that again. I got distracted. Sorry. The work.
you're good. Basically, yes, there is a correlation between the time her songs start to resemble the magnum opus and the time that she has having a huge rise in her stardom and her more prodigal nature.
This is Irene.
Yep, this is both Irene and Constance. You do notice also, you have found nothing on Irene's record. Eka. Okay, it's gone. You have found nothing on Irene's performances, or any of it before Constance. It
Is she
almost
not in the picture, like the yearbook photo?
Irene was in the yearbook photo, yes. No, Irene was not in the yearbook photo, actually. Was she? I can't remember anymore.
It was 9 people in the photo. I don't. I think so.
If it's 9, then probably not.
I can't. Okay.
That brings me to like my third question. When does it say that they got married or met? Is it before or after her rise?
It seems that they met about 15 years ago, around the start of the war. And it seems that they met. Irene's career skyrocketed since then. And then about 5 years ago, Constance was dead and Irene was left distraught.
So, just to kind of like I guess summarize, they met after her rise, right?
Yes, about
Before.
after.
Oh, never mind. Okay. Yeah.
After her rise, so that means that Irene wasn't really necessarily a part of the magnum opus. She came
Until
about
Constance.
Yeah, she
Yes.
came about because of the magnum opus.
You also
And
do
then
notice that Irene very rarely plays it, and there's a very stark difference when she plays it and when Constance plays it. Like, just down to skill, there is a gap between the two.
hmm. And what does Irene play? Irene plays the
Piano. Irene is the
Yeah.
piano, and Constance is the violin. Speaking of that, actually, as you go through it, you find what doesn't quite seem to be a home video, but does seem to be a wax phone recording, which I think is the closest thing you can get in this. It doesn't quite. It seems to be a rehearsal of the governor's ball that was mentioned earlier. You can hear Constance talking quite loudly and verbosely, mostly just filling the space with her voice, a lot of grandeurs, a lot of her constantly speaking and praising the people that are around her that are helping set up the stage. You can hear as Irene enters, far more shy and timid. I'm not talking to myself for this one, by the way. And you can hear that Constance almost fully runs over and tackles her into a hug and pulling her in. You can hear both of them begin to prep and rehearse their instruments, and you hear a third pair of footsteps. But no words. You hear Constance speaking. You hear Constance speaking to this third person, simply referring to them as an old friend and a kindred. You hear Irene simply saying, "It is good to hear. It's good to see you again. It's been a long time." They still do not speak. Don't say much. What you hear is muted at best. But they begin their practice and rehearsal.
We
And
can't
it's
see
in
this. It's a wax phone recording.
There's never. So there is no video. But the voice that fills, you hear the start of Irene's keys on the piano, followed quickly by Constance. The two almost perfectly syncing up, though Constance much overpowers the piano. And then Agnes's voice fills the room, fills the recording. She doesn't sing long, and her voice is barely a whisper. The song that plays seems close to the magnum opus, but not quite. It is a deviation, seemingly a work of their own design from how Constance is consistently critiquing or stopping the performance to remind them of certain tones and shifts that need to occur.
Does Agnes sound tired compared to her other works?
The few times you hear her speak, she sounds tired, but mostly she speaks in short sentences or simple words of yes, no, fine, whatever works for you. But when she sings,
this is about the time she wanted to get out of here. Yeah.
But when she sings, it is strong and clear and beautiful.
How close was this to her death?
There's no date labeled on this. You're not sure.
Can we determine? Because it's before her death, so it's before
You can try.
Constance's death.
You can try.
Roll.
Yeah, roll. Roll. Make me a history or a library use.
What's my history? Library use 56. History is. Do I have history? Yeah, library use. Let's go.
You can determine this was maybe.
Let's go.
You can determine that this was maybe 10 or so years ago. With a little bit carefuler detection, this is about maybe 9-10 years ago, almost exactly. A winter, too. But the song plays out, Agnes going from simply vocalizing to eventually reaching the words. I was a victim of magic, Apollo, catching my breath as I bled on the ground.
Okay, wait, slow down a little bit, bro.
I'll be sending these ones. Oh, this one I'll send in chat, don't worry.
Okay.
Somebody called me to follow. I followed, thinking aloud without hearing a sound. I need both of you to make me a perception check. Hard for both of you. Perception, visual, whatever there's a close simulation to. It's not my fault I played the D&D too much. That works.
Psychology?
I'll take it.
Damn.
What was it? Oh. I might be cooked. If I can find
Oh,
psychology.
not a psychology. We'll do spot hidden.
Oh, bet.
Spot hidden.
Still hard.
Oh yeah, might be cooked. Might be cooked. I did in
Is the
fact
magnum
am
opus
cooked.
playing on stream?
Nice. Heart success.
Let's
Woo.
Oh my
go. Let's
goodness.
go.
Is the Magnus Opus
Asona.
playing on stream? Gosh
Yeah, it is.
golly
Because I was
gee.
It
trying to
is.
listen, but if it is, it's rather low.
Yeah, I try to keep it a little bit lower for my sake so I can actually be heard.
No, that's so fucking fair.
Here, hold on a
What
second.
is?
There we are. Can we hear it better?
Let me see if it's taking you over. Okay, yeah. You still sound really good.
Perfect. Absolutely
Okay,
wonderful.
so now y'all know that.
Hey, by the way, just a reminder, the players can't hear that. You friends can though. Good luck. Anyway. Let me think. Ah, yes. It is as the song plays and draws to a close that Asona, something catches you just out of the corner of your eye. It's fast and sudden. But in the corner where there seems to have been something painted on the walls, almost engraved into the floor, there is a slight warping, and you're certain you felt a breeze come through. For just a fraction of a second. But as the song stops, it's gone.
I want to replay it. And if it's on a waxophone, that means I could like kind of play it slowly, right? Like I can physically make it go slower.
Not without damaging it.
Damn.
Just play it again normally.
Yeah, I just want to play it again. Then.
You play it again normally, and again, it's about a 30-minute long tape, but as it winds itself through and through, as it reaches the song, you look to the corner to where there seems to be an old, almost discarded pile of research papers. All still bearing Constance's names and marked into them. There's a note on them that these were donations of some sort from the Morris estate for memorialization and historical records. And from the box, there comes a slight draft. And as you lean and go move closer to it, hand reaching for it, it carries the scent of flowers. Gentle, almost, like it's from a field. You peek your head into the box, and the draft grows stronger. And carefully moving and intertwining and removing pieces of the box, Asona, your fingers cut on something almost sharp. You pull your hands back. Asona and getting her hand sliced up. You pull back,
Wow.
I
kind
just
of
knew it was gonna happen. Oh my god.
cinching ever so slightly at the blood. Roll me a spot hidden, by the way.
I thought I could leave you alone for 20 minutes.
Can we both roll for that, or is it just?
You will not notice a thing, Mallory. You literally
Okay.
can't tell.
Let's go. Oh my god.
Asona, as you bleed, you notice your blood has an ever so slight greenish tint to it, but it's not particularly notable. That's not what strikes you as frankly odd about this. What strikes you as odd is the cut is perfectly clean, but it didn't feel like glass or anything. It felt like a razor. And as you sort of carefully, this time more carefully, move the box, you find at the bottom, amongst a mesh of drawings and reporting, some that are notes of her work and her composing things, of which she did not seem to be a quite skilled composer as she was a performer. The notes that she has don't make much sense, and the songs don't seem that creative. But at the very bottom, there are pages of patterns drawn out. Pins in the pattern hold it into place, and there are wires of violins and piano chords strung throughout the design, held in place by those pins against the paper. From the center of those designs, as you raise your hand, there's a slight breeze that comes through. As you carefully maneuver your hand and strum at one of the wires, the image beneath it warbles as if a painting. And you swear for just the briefest moment you see one of the planes reflecting back at you. It's raining just as heavily there as it is back here, but it's there for the briefest moment. But by the time the wax cylinder ends, the song stops. And so does the breeze.
Oh, it's a portal. Like the scrying type of situation.
Okay, so above board, I feel as though I need to make a very rash decision
Oh
and
god.
take.
If you jump through that, I'm actually gonna.
This is the size of a notebook paper. You cannot jump through it.
No, no, no. I was gonna take not only the box but also the waxophone and beg for Hildy's forgiveness.
You know what? I will send Hildy down here just for you to try. Deal?
Oh,
No.
yeah,
Oh God.
yeah.
You hear, they're very soft and muffled, but you do hear hooves coming to the top of the stairs. The door opens and shuts. She just goes, Sona, dear, are you? Oh, wow, you guys are very good at finding things in the system. I might have to change it.
Apologies. It's researching.
Hildy. And I want to sound shaken up. I'm shaken up by this, but like kind of on the mission because I know this is important. I'm like, Hildy, I I need to take this, and I'm gonna show her the box, and I'm gonna show her like the waxophone. I was like, I need this. We need this, please.
Isona, you would know very well this information is not meant for police research.
This is not police research. I swear. I swear on the badge, this is not police research.
Hildy's hand goes over her chest as she stares at you for a moment in absolute shock. This is... Sona, dear, what have you gotten into?
I have no clue. And I want tears to start falling, actually, because this is crazy. I was like, I have no clue, but it's bigger than me and everything else I've ever known. I I need this.
Oh, dear. The moment tears start forming in your eyes, she runs over and just sort of holds you for a minute. Isona, this is possibly the closest you've ever truly had in a long time to being held by a mother. Someone who's felt like it, someone who has cared truly that much for you and your well-being.
The tears are just gonna fall harder. Like this is full on crying at this point. Please, Hildy, please.
Hey, no, dear. It's okay. It's all right. It's all right. This is a library and an archive. It is meant for the public. The knowledge is meant for the public. So long as this does not end up on the police's records, of course you may have it, my dear.
Thank you, Hildy.
You are very kind, Miss Hildy.
Of course, dears. Just promise me you'll be safe. I'm not sure what's going on, but I need you girls safe, all right?
That's the intention, Miss Hildy.
Good.
Thank you. At this point, she's like, thank you, Hildy. Thank you so much.
I'll put a hand to Isona's back and just give her like a half-hearted hug.
I mostly was coming to get you. The sun's going to set fairly soon. It's going to get late, so you do.
Your dinner.
Oh, dinner?
Yeah, I got it. I got invited by the colonel.
Yes, we need to get home immediately.
Colonel, the Feltons. This is the loudest you've ever heard this woman. The Felton?
Yeah, you know them?
Ugh. You see, as Hildy, you have very rarely seen Hildy mad. You have seen Hildy every form of disappointed. You have seen her angry exactly once when someone raised their voice at her, and she raised it right back. Hildy's ears fully pin against her head, and she just kind of sneers a bit. Ugh, God's that woman. A headache in my life, if I have ever seen one. I'm sorry, dear. I know I tend not to speak too badly about specific one of your colleagues, but Felton is unbearable.
Is there anything she should be worried about?
I wouldn't even know where to start. What on earth does she want with you? No offense, my dear.
Well, I am a dame now.
Yeah, she would be. I suppose she was a friend of Agnes's for a short time. That would track. Oh, God. Right then, very well, very well. Just be safe. And actually, it might be better if you leave those here. I'll be open late. You can collect them from me tonight. Does that sound fine?
I can keep them at
Yes.
my place with security,
That
if
should
that's
also be
something you're worried
perfectly.
about.
She sort of stops, looks you up and down, nods. That should be perfectly acceptable. You don't seem the type. Hands them over to you.
Seem the type to do what exactly?
Oh, don't worry about it, my dear.
I'm gonna mouth thank you again as we like kind of rush out. Like
She
I will see you again, and I will be over to look at the twins and make sure that they're doing a okay.
They will be waiting for you, dear. Now please rest on the way over, all right? And with that, she sends you both upstairs. Mallory, I'm guessing you're going to make your way back home.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to take. Does Asona have anything to wear?
I'm gonna
I
just
mean, I
assume you gave Asona a dress beforehand.
Yeah. I'll assume that.
All right.
yeah.
Put her in her big ass bag.
You give.
Oh, and I'll give Asona a handkerchief as well.
Thank you.
Of
didn't
course.
didn't think that was gonna happen.
You are the most emotional out of us, Asona. It's only natural that you feel that way.
I'm actually gonna kind of
Natural to
blush.
be afraid.
I'm gonna blush because that's not the look she wants to portray at all. Like,
Mallory, oh, my friend is so emotional. Emotional? How sweet. Asona, no.
it's basically like when your brother yelled, "I'm not cute."
Also, I did mention that I did like your horns.
She's gonna shut down on that one and try to cover them some more.
Cover them.
Yeah. She's gonna whisper thank you though. She's thank you.
Anyway, get home safe. Unless you need me to call a driver for you.
I think I can make my way there.
Are you sure
And
it'll be safe for you?
I am not sure. Just keep
I'll call a
those.
driver for you.
Thank you. Keep those
Hmm.
files safe, please.
I'll just like hush Asona a little bit, just to make sure. And just nod.
Yeah. And I'll be on my way, I guess.
You head upon your way. Mallory, is there anything else specifically you wanted to do tonight?
Anything about Mordecus at all?
Oh, good question. You go back to Hilda and ask her to be back in that area one more time. Sort of gives you a look, but nods and lets you follow behind her.
Yeah,
She's like, right, what are you looking for, my dear?
uh, actually, just any information about Mordecus Thread?
Thread. Um. Oh dear, I can tell you with almost certainty that unfortunately I don't believe I've seen much with the last name Thread. Oh goodness, hold on. She goes into very genuine, deep thought. You can sort of see her head spin as she tries to piece together.
Or my name. I don't know if that'll help or anything.
You tell her
If there's any more.
Mallory Thread.
Yeah,
She just goes, oh.
because Mordecus is a stage name or like a
Mhm.
public name.
And she goes, oh no, I'm actually planning on you, my dear. By the way, congrats on the opening of your boutique. Your success is noted in a few of the upstairs articles. But
No, thank you, but that's not what I'm here for.
oh, I most certainly figured you don't seem the type. But I'll be honest, I believe outside of your name, there's no mention of anyone with the name Thread or Morticus. Actually, I've seen a few
That
Morticuses, but they were quite older. I don't believe that would be your father.
that's odd. Can I still look at those if that's possible?
I'm
Just a lead of some sort?
You're free to. She walks around, but the area she pulls the books from seem completely random to you as she hands them over to you. Um, some are on older pilots, some are on older military generals. A few are on actual ancient people. Some are on research of study methods. A few are just Florida men type beats of absolute people who did insane crap. There's someone who just did something truly insane and batshit that made it in here. But that's all you got.
None of them look familiar. Like,
Not
are
a
there any
single
images?
one of these looks like your father. In fact, it's dawned on you. When was the last time you actually knew his? When was the last memory you have of his actual name?
Ooh.
It strikes you for a moment that when you were younger, you had asked his name a couple of times when your memory had failed you, but you don't ever actually remember the first time you met.
Do I have to roll for that?
It would be a verbose.
What's verbose?
The hardest one. The hardest. Extreme, sorry.
Oh, okay. Where's is it memory?
I'll take memory.
Oh god, I'm gonna fail. Yeah. I could use do I want to use 50?
I wouldn't for this.
No. Nah. No. That's you can see she's visually like troubled now as she's trying to like use everything in her mind to remember. Like she hates it when she forgets something.
Hilda gives you a look of concern and almost taps you on the shoulder gently. My dear, are you all right?
Oh, I'm fine. It's just this is odd.
What's the matter, my dear? And she sort of sits in front of you.
No record of my father at all, actually.
Well,
He'd definitely be in a newspaper. He's a notable figure.
well, I'll be the first to admit our records aren't perfect, but we do tend to have people, and I'm unfortunately fairly good with the odder names. I would have
Would there be any donations in his name, possibly?
none. None, my dear. I actually keep a very close eye on things. I truly believe your name is the only mention of the Thread estate I have ever heard. I could ask around, but
that'd be helpful. But what about my brother or any widow?
What would your brother's name be?
Male Thread?
You see her actually stand and look around? No. As for a widow, also no, my dear.
Met?
You're. I don't mean to distract you, my dear, but your certain Mordicus and Thread are the names.
Why wouldn't it be?
I just. Well, from your mention of them and the donations, I'm guessing they're something of a nobler house. Yes?
Yeah.
Well, since the war began, it wasn't particularly uncommon for some families with more notable ties to certain things, such as the arcane or magics, to alter their names or their histories. It's, well, not quite common. It was certainly happened a few times. I'd recommend maybe going to your father and asking for the proper name, if you're interested in these records.
He hasn't been home since about in like a week after the month started.
Oh, I'm so sorry, my dear. I hadn't known.
No, it's fine, but he does this He's done it before, I think.
Well,
Not this long.
perhaps you can find something then if you just go, oh, if I don't know if you'd happen to snoop around a bit. There'd have to be something in there.
I
I'm
mean,
I'm certain he possibly simply forgot to inform you, or maybe he himself wasn't truly known. Some of these changes happened generations ago.
uh, is there any noble records I could look at
Oh, of course, there's a few.
for him?
Yes, there's actually a
Can
few.
I
Those would be.
can I just look at those?
Yeah, she goes to the archives and pulls out what is a giant book of the Imperiums and its noble records.
Oh.
She goes, it unfortunately runs quite deep, but it is thorough. It even has who is married to who has which bloodlines, who has fully scorned and snuffed people. It's a mess. There's another twitch to her ear.
Can I give her my boutique and house number? And she can just contact me whenever if she finds anything.
She's like, oh, of course. I've been looking for a new personal project. Is there anything in specific I should be looking for, my dear?
Just any family history of him at all?
Well,
If
that'd be a bit more helpful if I had more
like
information
just
on him.
do you need a physical description?
Do you look the same?
No.
Then yes.
Well, he's human, about well shorter than me,
Ah,
gray
you're
hair,
adopted.
balding.
Are you adopted then,
Well,
my dear?
I never knew my mother.
Ah. Oh, well, don't feel bad about it. My twins don't know their father, and, well, that's a whole
When
other mess.
my father remarried a beast folk, so my brother look slightly similar, but we've never, minus the age gap and
Oh,
the conditions.
oh,
But
adorable.
but I never knew her at all,
Hmm.
and Mordecai was very protective of that. I reopening old wounds maybe, so I never asked him.
If. Hmm. That might actually be your problem then. Titles aren't always passed down by the father. It's highly possible the title that changed might have been your mother's. And when your father took over the estate, he simply replaced it with his name for anonymity. If you could find some record of her, that might be a better lead. She taps at the book. But as it stands right now, I can look and report any strange findings I find or any families that have fallen off, but that alone is still going to get you 50 families to sort through.
Yeah, she's looking extra frustrated now. Like he's like not spiraling yet, but like, why can't I remember? Oh my god.
Hildy kind of. You are like seconds from making a sanity check before Hildy sort of taps your shoulder again.
Yeah.
She like taps shoulder again. She goes, my dear, please breathe. It's all right. It's all right. Minds can be a tricky beast at the best of times. And at the worst of times, they can often be our own greatest enemy. Whatever yours chooses to tell you or hide from you, sometimes there is a reason, and sometimes it is simply doing what it can for your sake. I would not be distraught at yourself or it for doing what it thinks is best. All right?
That I'll take that into consideration. Thank you, Miss. I'm terrible with names. I'm so sorry.
Hildy.
Miss Hildy, thank you.
If
Actually, one more thing. Do you have any records on dreams or sleeping spells?
yes, actually, a good amount of those. Unfortunately, I cannot allow grimoires out of this place. They are.
Oh, wait, grimoires.
Yes, that is the realm of dreams, effectively. There has been some research into them scientifically, but most of that is above shelf. If you have not found any chance to read those, she flips again through the books. You expect her to go more to the sections that are related to sleep or peace. However, instead, she goes into a section that is almost entirely devoted to messaging and to signals as she hands you 3 larger tomes.
Can I read them? Hold on.
It's gonna require a sanity check.
Well, I knew we were going to get there one way or another. Give me 1 second. I'm just writing down what the other stuff you said. Okay, and you said that Hildy reached into messaging and grimoires, so it's
Messaging and
it's magical
signals to pull out the grimoires, yes.
something magical. All right.
She does look over and say, so the grimoires are not able to leave here. I'd recommend, though, you may come back whenever you wish to finish reading them. I'd recommend, sort of taps one on top, starting with that one. It's less exhausting.
That's an extreme. Hold on.
I did not say roll it yet.
Oh, never mind. It was on extreme anyway. That wasn't supposed to
Girl.
happen.
Oh my god.
I'm sorry.
She taps top and says, I would recommend starting with this one. It is far less tiring to get through, but I would recommend only reading a short bit of it today and then continuing onward. Sound good?
Yes, of course. Thank you so much.
Of course. She sits a ways away from you and just sort of. She seems to be working on some other things, but she's very much keeping an eye on you while you have the grimoire.
All right, time to crack this open.
This will be a general check because she gave you the baby book, basically.
The baby book. The baby book. I'm crying. Let's go.
You hold through this one very well. Even as
this
you
is
are
the first time reading one anyway, so
even as you are struggling a bit in a few places, the words of Hildy do help to keep you just a bit calmer as you're getting through the frustration, the exhaustion, that tinge in the back of your mind. This book almost entirely is about the messaging of dreams. That dreams were used almost sometimes as a form of scrying, sometimes to divine or ascertain certain details and information. There will be 2 spells you will commit to memory, 2 that I will give you later. But both of them seem to be more based on guiding of dreams. Basically allowing you a bit more of control in your own.
okay. You're just gonna DM that to me because I'm not gonna remember.
I will DM it to you, don't worry. But yeah, that's about all that you do have the ability to get through within the day before you start to get exhausted.
Yeah, she like holds her tempo a little bit as she closes the book.
As soon as you shut it, she does walk over to you, sort of taps you on the shoulder lightly. You all right?
Yes, I'm fine. It's just a lot to take in.
Here, let's allow you to rest. She helps you stand and guides you over to a chair, sort of sitting you down for a moment. Just going, I think you did quite well today, but I think it's time you get some rest, all right?
You're right. It's just
frustrating.
Revelation upon yes, revelation upon revelation is it's something.
And yet, you've done quite the job managing it.
I kind of didn't really have a choice. I've kind of just dealt with these most of my life.
It is the nature of life and beings like ourselves, where these things are difficult. It will almost always feel like an uphill battle, some great struggle that you can never piece together fully. And yet, despite that, we are here. We press on. And really, I think that's all that matters, don't you?
In the end, I suppose.
Good.
Sorry, I'm just a lot. There's just a lot of information right now.
Of course. Here. She vanishes upstairs for a short while and returns with a vial of not a vial, yeah, actually a vial. She returns with one vial of sort of a slightly brown tinted liquid and a cup of tea. She hands you the tea and it is chamomile. She hands you the vial and it is straight gin.
Oh, it's what?
Gin.
It's it's drinks again.
So she's like,
Oh,
you don't need to, but whichever is your choice.
chamomile. She'll take that.
She just
She's not a
nods.
alcoholic. She's not much of an alcoholic drinker aside from the medicine.
She nods, tucks the flask into her pocket.
And I'll just sip it.
You from
Yeah,
this
Mallory's a tea girl.
you from this experience gained 2 points of sanity back. Wonderful work.
Back to max sanity. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. All right. I'm back to my max sanity. Let's go.
Whoop whoop. Ah,
But yeah, let me get these files home now.
of course, dear. And with that, Mallory, you venture home. That said,
I'll call the driver and go home.
that said, though, this, my dear friends, is where we end for the day. As
oh my god, what a banger way to end.
As always, it is a wonderful experience. Do join us next time where one of them must maintain proper social etiquette at a dinner, another one of them must maintain proper etiquette while visiting a hospital, and God knows what the hell Keith is doing right now, but boy, is it probably his best. As a friendly reminder, I am Primrose, the oddest of axolotls. You can find me on TikTok, I think Instagram, and basically every social media platform that matters. I'll be here every other Tuesday to entertain and beguile you with tales and absolute bullshit. As always, please join us. Thank you for enduring this story alongside us, and we will see you later. Bye, dears.